Welcome to Abilene, Texas, and welcome to ESPN College Basketball. It's an early Christmas present a week before the holiday. The conference basketball season is here. The New Orleans Privateers and the Abilene Christian Wildcats. Good evening, everybody. Welcome courtside to Moody Coliseum. Zach Carlisle alongside Andy Penny. Well, here we go. The conference season is upon us. New Orleans 3-5 so far. ACU 7-1, looking really good, but the conference schedule's here. You can throw out the records, right?
Absolutely, Zach. And when you look at December 18th, this date's been circled on the calendar for a long, long time. You're talking about an ACU program, the defending conference champions of the Southland Conference a year ago, the preseason pick to win it here in 2020. And they're ready. December 18, here we go. A chance to defend that conference championship. They get a good opponent tonight in the New Orleans Privateers.
Looking at it, there's a lot of talent on the floor as well. Guard play is always a big factor. So as we look at our impact players here in today's game, I mean, guards are going to be at the front key of this thing. Rahima Franklin for New Orleans, Dominique Golightly for Abilene Christian.
Well, Rahima Franklin, 11.9 points. She's the floor general and gets things started for New Orleans, shooting the ball at 40% from behind the three-point line. Dominique Golightly, though, making her 72nd start, 13.8 points per game. She's the floor general for the ACU team. She's the cog that makes things go.
No question about it. All right, this is meeting number 8 all time between ACU and New Orleans. 5 straight wins in the series for the Wildcats. New Orleans trying to change the tune tonight. So glad you're with us for ESPN College Basketball. Should be a fun night to open the Southland Conference schedule. We mentioned it, New Orleans has a big win earlier this year against Ole Miss. ACU's got some good wins so far as well at 7-1. Glad you're with us. Off we go from Abilene, Texas.
Zach, the key tonight is tempo for these two teams. ACU likes to get up and down the floor, averaging just shy of 90 points a game. New Orleans a little slower, averaging just 65 a game.
Rahima Franklin right on cue, missing the game's first attempt from distance. Michaela Mabry for Abilene Christian. And here we go. The three-point shot is big, and it's Michaela Mabry to give ACU the lead.
Well, that's the bread and butter for ACU, averaging more than 10 made three-pointers per contest on the year. That's make number 86 as a team, and for Michaela, make number 12 from behind the three-point line.
You mentioned the 90 points a game, the 52% shooting from the floor. Takeaway for Anna McLeod, and Wildcats trying to run, and that is Whitley Larry getting back in transition defense for New Orleans. And a travel and transition on Pebbles Pimpton for the Privateers.
Yeah, both teams trying to feel each other out. Good pace here to start this game. Turnover there for ACU on the last trip, and now New Orleans going to show a little three-quarter court press.
And a travel on Anna McLeod. Back-to-back whistles, each end of the floor. This 3-0 game. Abilene Christian 3 games in a row they've won coming in, including a big one at Portland of the West Coast Conference, and then a home win over Tulsa. And Brianna Wright picks off a pass.
Chance to run here after the steal.
Dominique Golightly, we talked about her in the open, and a quick timeout taken by the Privateers. A minute and a half into this thing.
Well, Zach, you've already seen twice now what ACU loves to do. The three-point shot, as Michaela Mabry makes one in the half-court set, their first offensive set, and then quick defense to offense as Brianna Wright gets the steal. The team leader in steals, I might say, Brianna Wright with steal number 21 there, pushes the ball up the floor in a hurry, and Dominique Golightly able to finish. But here you'll see the three-point shot. No time wasted for Mabry. Get the ball up on the rim. It finds the bottom of the net, and then the good defense to offense again, Wright to Golightly.
And it's off of a make or a miss. I mean, no matter what, Abilene Christian wants to run up and down the floor. That's going to wear out New Orleans because this has been a really good Privateer defense. But to me, this is their biggest test of the season going up against ACU.
Oh, no doubt. And again, when we look at the offensive numbers, ACU likes to get up and down the floor, averaging 89.8 points per contest. New Orleans just at 64.3. And when you look at ACU scores, only one one time has ACU been in the 60s. Their lowest score is 65 on the season. ACU's lowest offensive output, that was in their loss against Oklahoma, a New Orleans team that averages only 64.
Right.
So really that 65 number might be key tonight. If ACU can get over that 65 hump, probably going to be in pretty good shape. Obviously, New Orleans wants to play the unders there. As we get a New Orleans reference in there, playing the unders, 65 might be the key number tonight for these two teams as far as offense.
I could not agree more. And you think about what these teams did a year ago. They opened the conference schedule a season ago, January 2nd, which is almost a calendar year ago, down in the Bayou, and it was a 59-52 kind of grinded out, low scoring, tempo controlled game. New Orleans wants to do that again. They're going up against maybe the most veteran team in America, though, Abilene Christian, who does not have a freshman on its roster.
Well, that was a quick timeout there by head coach Davenport. Does not want to let this thing get out of control because, again, with the Privateers being a half-court type of team, you see a deficit build early. It takes you out of the rhythm. New Orleans out of their rhythm. What they want to try to accomplish is more a half-court set. Work that shot clock down under 10 seconds, both offensively and defensively. Can't afford to get behind in bunches here early in the first quarter here.
Two veteran head coaches that know what this is all about. And so that chess match is going to be fun tonight as well.
Wildcats play half-court, man-to-man here out of the timeout.
And New Orleans picks it apart. Into the paint they go with Asia Woods, a senior out of Houston.
Just good half-court set. Nice back screen on the backside block, and Woods wide open on the front side block. Nice easy up off the glass.
Gets the Privateers on the board. Another Houston native. This is Anna McLeod offline. Coach Goodenough saying they want to, there's a turnover on Pebbles Pimpton, her second turnover of this game so far. They mentioned Anna McLeod. They want to get her going. She got off to a great start the first game of the year with 19 points. Since then, they haven't seen her go offensively, but they know that she's capable in the first year in a Wildcat uniform. Mabry off the bounce and another turnover. Some sloppy play early on both sides.
That's a good offensive set as Mabry able to dribble drive, get into the paint. Tried the little high-low dish, but Duque just not able to corral that on the low block. Had an opportunity for a nice look there on that left side low block, but through the hands, turnover number 3 here in the first 3 minutes.
Well, as we say how important guard play is, boy, there's some really talented interior players in this game. Duque being one of them. She's one of the top ones in the Southland Conference. Dribble drive. DeAndre Thomas, the junior out of Thibodaux, Louisiana. Now there's Duque, her first touch off glass.
Good to see Lexi back in the lineup. Missed the game against Schreiner this past weekend, but good entry pass there from McLeod. Nice easy two for Duque, who's put up 20 points twice this year and in the competitive games, once against Oklahoma, once against Tulsa.
And into the paint, Asia Woods once again, the senior. And now Abilene Christian fires it down the floor and way too high and wide. So they were looking for that full court pass to Lexi Duque, and here you go, dribble drive for DeAndre Thomas.
Yeah, right against Go Lightly. Just got the step with the right hand and no help defense. Nice easy layup there for Thomas.
Rahima Franklin, quality scorer, the senior out of right there in New Orleans. She can put it on the dribble drive as well. Has really been known for her defense early on, but coming off of a 20-point effort on Saturday.
Well, give credit to the Privateers. Everything's been easy, right up at the glass.
And Brianna Wright from distance, and Anna McLeod went over the back. That's been another issue for McLeod. She's getting in foul trouble in games this year. That's the first foul for either side in tonight's game. 8-7, advantage Privateers so far on the road.
Last 2 baskets have just been one-on-one, dribble drive, not even a screen to help get open. Just win off the dribble for the Privateer guards.
Pimpton with Wright all over her, 10 to shoot. Whitley Larry, the lengthy post player who can bounce it, putting it there, but Go Lightly tracks down a rebound. into the paint, drive and kick, the staple of the Wildcats, and McLeod no good. Golightly has been so dominant for the Wildcats as of late. We were crunching some numbers prior to coming on the air tonight. 70 points over the last 4 games for Golightly.
Yeah, we knew Dominique would find her rhythm. You know, early in the season, she certainly wants to make sure each player finding their role. She knew she'd get her minutes. She knew she'd get her points in due time. And now that the competition level is beginning to ramp up with the likes of Oklahoma, Portland, Tulsa, now into conference play, Dom's primed and ready to go.
Out of Chickasha, Oklahoma, the only non-Texan. This 12-man roster, as that ball's tapped out of bounds by Larry. 9 to shoot for ACU. And the first sub for the Wildcats is sophomore Maddie Miller. I think a lot of folks define her as really the spark plug and the kind of, I don't know, I mean, kind of the spark plug of this team, as Golightly misses a 3 and gets it back. Misses inside. Maybe the personality of the team, too. Maddie Miller is one of a kind for sure. Golightly picks it off. Mabry, transition 3 for her as the trailer. And there's Miller in there trying to get the ball, and it's a jump ball.
Well, there's what you talked about, the spark plug right off the bench. Down on the floor the first time to tie up possession, and ACU will keep it. 3-point shot has been cold thus far, just 1 of 5 for the Wildcats. That's been a hot portion of their season, just shy of 40% from behind the 3-point line. But early on, Mabry made the one on the first possession, but that's been it, just 1 of 5 from behind the 3-point line.
And New Orleans 0 for 1, a non-existent part of their offense so far, as the teams are a combined 7 of 17 to start the night from the floor.
See if ACU tries to go back to the high-low with Duque here.
Miller. She had a lot of time to shoot it. Maybe had too much time. All offensive rebounds reset to 20 seconds this year. A new rule, and here's Mabry, her second 3.
Exact same spot as from earlier. She missed earlier in the possession, but give Duque a lot of credit for the second chance opportunity. And Mabry just changes from the right side wing over to the left side wing. Exact same spot. Deja vu, 2 for 2 from that spot.
Mabry picks off the pass. Here's the thing to me that's so crazy about this Abilene Christian team. Franklin coming the other way. I don't know who you choose to guard. And that's a charge on Rahima Franklin. Brianna Wright taking a charge, much to the liking of her bench and her head coach, Julie Goodenough.
That's how you'll stop transition in a hurry. Just get there, get good position. Here you see Brianna, she's ready. She gets the feet set. Contact initiated there by the offense. And the foul there on Franklin, Rahima Franklin. Great job there, Brianna Wright.
Franklin stays on the floor. Jada Duncantel checks in. A junior out of Natchitoches, Louisiana, as does Treya Bruce, number 5. Golightly, a charge right back at you, and it's Franklin who takes the charge this time.
Well, ACU found the matchup they wanted with Golightly being guarded by Franklin at just 5'3", so they get Golightly down on the right block, but Franklin, a nice job just setting her feet. And the contact initiated there by Golightly, and the charge calls, the back-to-back charge calls. Each team picks up 1.
So Franklin gives one and takes one back. So she's even for the night so far.
Wildcats starting to switch on that screen down on the low side block, backside to front side. It was open on a backdoor cut earlier, but not so much now.
Yeah, look at that. 3 Wildcats in. Annalise Briscoe, the junior out of Houston. It's a good backdoor cut, but you run into so many Wildcats in the paint. There are 8 to shoot, but it is a foul, and it's free throws coming for Briscoe. I thought they were going to reset the shot clock. They did, because it's free throws. First attempts from either side tonight at the line. Briscoe, who her minutes have been way up this year, is what she's seen over the last couple of years, averaging 11 minutes and 3 minutes over the last 2 seasons. But the junior, a pivotal player off the bench for the Privateers. Mabry. That's 8 points so far for Michaela Mabry.
Little give and go half-court offense. Mabry had it at the top of the key, just inside the three-point line. Pass over to Miller and shot down to the front side block. And give and go. Miller gives it right back to her. Nice easy kiss off the glass.
Backdoor pass. That's taken away. Another turnover. That is the 7th of the quarter. For New Orleans, ACU has 6 turnovers themselves. Go lightly and right. 2 of the best in the Southland Conference. And they team up for a 3 in the corner.
That's beautiful. Brianna Wright, leading scorer at 14.5 a game. You force New Orleans to work the shot clock, and New Orleans at 25 seconds of quality defense, and then before you know it, Brianna Wright buries a 3 in the corner.
Well, it was a missed jump shot from Asia Woods, but it got tapped around. It turns into a bucket for Whitley Larry, a big one for UNO, because when you play that many seconds on defense, you don't want a quick missed shot. And now Mabry, does she have another? Wanted her 3rd triple of this quarter. And now Duque with a post touch. There's 5 players averaging double figures on this team. Brianna Wright's one of them, and she's got back-to-back 3-pointers from the corner.
Well, just before you know it, Brianna Wright fills up a stat sheet in a hurry, you know it?
My goodness.
Back-to-back 3s. And
how do you slow down this offense?
6 quick points and a 6-point lead, just like that.
New Orleans has played some really good defense so far this year. Despite the 3-5 record, there's a travel on Briscoe. And Alyssa Adams, number 33, checks in for the Wildcats for the first time.
After the 1 of 5 start from behind the 3-point line,
Yeah.
ACU now 3 of their last 4 of 9. Right on average, 44%, shooting at 40, so just above that average at 44%. Give New Orleans credit, though. All of their points down in the paint, with the exception of the 2 free throws they made. So they're getting the ball down to the block, getting it close to the bucket, making some nice, easy shots.
Ten to shoot. Maddie Miller going to run this thing. A screen from Adams. And is that an and one? Yes, it is for the sophomore out of Wiley, Texas.
Boy, good spark plug there for Maddie. You'll see her running the show here. Shot clock running down. She gets a screen from Adams going right. Fights through it as New Orleans does not switch.
Jump for joy as well.
Yep.
She is such a, and it's just a sophomore as well. I mean, 2.5 years left of number 31 in white for Coach Julie Goodenough. Now the lead, just like that in a blink, goes to 9 for Abilene Christian.
And here again, if you're ACU, force New Orleans to shoot from outside. Have not made a shot from the perimeter yet this evening. Force them to shoot something from the outside.
And that ball is tapped away, and closing out was Golightly, who tries to run and maybe set up a 2-for-1 for ACU, and there goes that theory. New Orleans basketball, but you're right, closing out. This team's only shooting 29% on the year is New Orleans from a 3-point line. So you want to force them to do that. And now barely any difference between the game and shot clock. New Orleans can eat as much of this clock as they want here at the end of the quarter.
So
10 seconds.
See if they get a pick here, top of the key. Here it comes.
Jada Duncan tell, tough angle. Not sure if it was a pass or a shot. 2 seconds. Now Duncan tells long 2 is offline. It's a 6-0 run for Abilene Christian, and we've reached the end of the first quarter. Wildcats by 9 here in Abilene. Second quarter about to commence here at Moody Coliseum. Zach Carlisle, Andy Penny, glad to have you with us tonight for ESPN College Basketball. And a 9-point lead for Abilene Christian. They got hot at the end of the first quarter, and a travel to start it for New Orleans by Rahima Franklin, and all of a sudden you're looking at the 9th Privateer turnover so far. That's been their bugaboo in just 12 first quarter points.
Well, Zach, this game was tied 10-10 with about 4 minutes left in the quarter. And ACU got hot from behind that three-point line. They finished the quarter at 4 of 9, and that really the difference, the 9-point lead. And second chance opportunities, and there's a bucket on the inside too.
How about Alyssa Adams, who got the start last Saturday with Lexi Duque not playing in the game. The San Antonio native, Alyssa Adams. So you're talking about an 11-point lead, and that's what this Abilene Christian team can do. And that's a charge on DeAndre Thomas, who thought she had an and one, and instead it turns into, ineffectively, a turnover on New Orleans.
When Thomas not pleased with that call, she was able to get to the basket, but it's Maddie Miller again, the spark plug that you talked about. Able to take that charge. She likes to get on the floor. We saw that she tied up a jump ball earlier and now gets the charge, and another turnover for the Privateers.
Yeah, I don't know how you take Maddie Miller off the floor when she does so many things well for your team.
Well, you're seeing the depth of this Wildcat team early in the season. Just game number 9 here. Plenty of depth on the team.
And Anna McLeod has one bounce off and out of bounds. Nonetheless, Abilene Christian's turned it over 7 times so far as well.
And that's credit to New Orleans. They're playing quality defense. You look at the shot field goal percentage, both teams in the 40s. New Orleans at 42, ACU at 47, but 7 more attempts for ACU and 4 more three-pointers made. They've made 4. New Orleans without a three-point field goal. Yeah, that really the tail of the tape.
Is it a foul or is it just tapped out of bounds? It will stay with ACU, and there's Wildcat head coach Julie Goodenough. 151 wins in her 8th season, a Big Country Hall of Famer. Second all-time in wins at Abilene Christian. She's as good as it gets. Women's college hoops.
Well, no doubt about it.
Under 10 on the shot clock, and a travel on Miller. How about the other side of things? Keyshawn Davenport, 9th-year head coach of New Orleans, was a player for UNO, was an assistant at UNO, now is leading this program.
You think these coaches don't know anything the other one's going to do tonight?
That's right.
I'm sure they've watched plenty of film on each other.
2 veteran coaches that have been around their programs for a long time. I feel like we have, I mean, across women's college basketball around the country, you see some of the best coaches there's ever been. Dominique Lightly back into the game for the Wildcats. Just 11 to shoot for New Orleans.
Well, here we are, Zach. We're 12 minutes deep in tonight's game. New Orleans 10 points in the paint, which is credit to them. 2 free throws, no perimeter shots, 12 minutes in.
And it just feels like in these types of games, you have to try to keep up a little bit with Abilene Christian from the three-point line. There's Franklin into the paint once again.
Well, that's a heck of a drive because ACU's changed their defense. Look, went to a zone look. They skipped past the ball across the floor, left side to right side, and you think you're going to see a pull-up jump shot as the shot clock running down, but Pebbles finds a little driving lane, gets all the way to the bucket for 2 more points in the paint.
And that's where Mabry's been dominant so far, is behind the arc. And cleaning up the mess, or nearly cleaning up the mess, is Anna McLeod, missing from point-blank range. And that one sent away by Mabry, who comes across on help side defense. Wow. Franklin stands at just 5'3". Mabry 6'1".
Mabry got the best of that. ACU hasn't blocked many shots this year. That's just total team block number 11. And for Michaela, just her second one, but that was a pretty one. You'll see that one on the highlight reel.
Yeah, you talk about blocks, you talk about New Orleans. That's what they've been really good at, is on that. And on the defensive side, we haven't seen that tonight from the Privateers.
Yeah, 37 blocks for New Orleans through 8 games.
Whitley Larry is second in the conference in blocks. 13 of them. My goodness. 13 to shoot. Franklin trying to create something is what it feels like here, and that is, it rims in. Oh, I thought that was bouncing out from Thomas. She got the friendly roll on the road.
Well, the Privateers find the weakness of a 2-3 zone. ACU's feeling that New Orleans has not made a perimeter shot yet. They changed to the 2-3 zone, but the weakness in the 2-3 zone, the free throw line, and that's exactly where Thomas was standing. She buries that 8-foot jump shot. Still points in the paint, even though it's a jump shot from 8 feet out.
Under 10 to shoot. McLeod, corner three. She's in the three-point party for the Wildcats because it feels like it's trending that direction. That's the 5th triple of the night for ACU.
Well, that's a pretty stroke from Anna.
She gets that going.
I tell you, I don't think Anna's hit her rhythm yet, hit her stride yet in game number 9. When she does, she will be dangerous.
It's got to be a weird situation when you sit out for a year. I have no idea what that would be like, but Lexi Duquet experienced it for Abilene Christian. Anna McLeod experienced it last year, and if she gets this going, good luck.
Well, I think, again, as you see this three-point shot, there's so much depth on this team.
Yeah.
McLeod did not have to immediately come in and take a star leading role. It's just, hey, define your role, just fit in where we need you. And it changes every night because anybody can take the lead on this ACU team.
Thomas missing inside, and McLeod turns it over once again. And Anna McLeod has her 3rd turnover of the game. And that pass is high, and it's been a turnover fest here in this first half for both sides, and Maddie Miller returns to the Wildcat lineup.
Well, if there's been a black eye tonight for both teams, it's been the turnovers. ACU at 9, New Orleans now that last possession now at 12. So maybe just first game in conference jitters or good defense on both teams.
No question. Let's go with that. Let's go with the defense. I like that. That's Brianna Wright missing a layup attempt. And they've got Kayla Thomas at 6'5" out on the perimeter. And there's Larry on that baseline, but that was a nice looking pass from Franklin.
Well, they get Franklin to the top of the key with a off the ball screen. She drives in, and just when it looks like she's going to make the layup, she kicks it out. First jump shot from outside the paint, Whitley Larry.
Right offline. And she's shooting it from outside the men's three-point line. The purple line is where the men shoot it from. Right, it doesn't matter. If she's in the gym, that's her range.
Don't call her out on the first one, Zach. She'll just shoot it again.
She heard me, didn't she?
And that's credit to another offensive rebound. ACU with 9 of those in the first half. Second chance opportunity.
New Orleans with 6 points here in this second quarter so far. They're only averaging 11 per game in the second quarter this year. Back in a moment.
This was so much more than our team or basketball.
Coming in as freshmen and sticking through the grind, sticking through the losses.
We knew we had a team that was a conference championship level team from the start.
All season, we just wanted to prove people wrong.
I was anxious to play because we knew we were so close.
You done for the Jay Franklin gun. Franklin holds it down.
We felt the buzz in the city. They were with us.
I had never seen Moody that fast.
Yes! He's got 18. Ricks to tie it.
Good look.
Yes!
And it's in.
And he hit it, I was like, whoa.
The ACU fans going crazy.
We are the best three-point shooting team in the league. Let's go establish a new three-point shooting record.
They're going to break the record.
Show everybody in the conference that we can go and compete.
The Wildcats live to fight another day.
Kick it out. Mabry 3. Dagger. Good. Wow!
We're going to go win this championship game.
The Wildcats are going to play for a title.
Whatever we have to do, we're winning this game.
Like, okay, let's go. Like, let's go to war.
Goes in with a one-hand slam. Wide open, corner 3. Yes!
Barbed wire! They can feel it all over ACU Nation. Abilene Christian to the NCAA tournament.
So you've got two teams that come in and open the Southland Conference schedule tonight. Both teams joined the league in 2013. And now you've got an Abilene Christian team's coming off of a tournament title, picked to win the league. New Orleans favored to finish 8th, which is where they finished a year ago. New Orleans lost to the 6th seed in the first round of the Southland tournament, which was Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and that's who Abilene Christian defeated in the tournament championship game a year ago. And that is another offensive foul on New Orleans, and that goes on Asia Woods for an arm bar.
Yeah, third offensive foul here in the first half called on the Privateers. New Orleans going to go back, show a little full court pressure, maybe just pick up right in the full court. Try to eat some shot clock before she gets in the front court.
You'd like to see, yeah, I feel like they're searching for some answers right now on that offensive side of the floor, and so their defense has to hold up while they try to solve that puzzle. And Franklin, I mean, is flying up and down the floor, and that time converts inside.
Don't let 5'3" fool you. She is not afraid to get to the rim, and she's done it numerous times tonight. That was an impressive drive and another bucket.
Pebbles Pimpton losing the ball, maybe trying to do just a little too much in the paint, and here come the Wildcats. Boy, it's got a track meet feel to it, doesn't it? And Maddie Miller is going to go to the line.
And again, the track meet, that favors the Wildcats, no doubt.
Think.
Here's that second chance opportunity, and look at this. Just find a little seam, change left hand to right hand, up off the glass, in with the trees, no problem at all for Franklin. She's up to 6 points tonight, 3 of 5 field goals.
Here's Miller talking to Maddie Miller. She prides herself in being a really good free throw shooter, and she's had some misses as of late.
The Wildcats have not been to the line much. That's just free throws 2 and 3 as a team tonight. One area of success you can always see with a team, if you've made more free throws than your opponents have shot, you're having a successful season. Coming in, ACU had made 129. Their 8 opponents had only attempted 126. So sign of success here in 2019-2020.
Miller's a 76% free throw shooter, and she said that number is way too low. She prides herself on making everything she takes from the charity stripe. Miller handles Adams. Gonna drive as well. And it goes out of bounds off of Abilene Christian. That could have gone either way.
Well, I know it was deflected, the shot deflected, but then I guess they say Adams touches it last. Coach Goodenough looking for an explanation on the far sideline.
Interesting. Now the officials get together and talk about it. They may switch the call. Yeah, they just did switch the call. It's going to be Abilene Christian basketball. I think they got that right. I mean, just from the naked eye live, I thought it went off in New Orleans last.
Yeah, Adams' shot as she drives here, gets the ball deflected.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was.
No question.
I mean, a nice block by Larry on the play, but Larry obviously touches it last as it goes out of bounds.
Great job by our ACU TV student-run crew. And there's Adams missing in the paint. But another offensive board. That's been huge.
Number 10, double digits in the first half, offensive rebounds.
That's an absurd number. And now the backdoor cut. Go lightly. Wow. How did she get that ball? That pass looked like it was a little low coming in.
You can see the chemistry between the two seniors, right? Go lightly there on the backdoor cut. Yeah, that was a low skip pass. I think Wright let that one go about 18 inches off the floor, and I think Go Lightly caught it about 18 inches off the floor, but able to get to the free throw line.
Dominique Go Lightly, 4th in the league in field goal percentage this year, leads the league in three-point percentage so far. Now another offensive rebound. Go Lightly recently a member of the 1,000 Point Club. Did that against Tulsa.
Excuse me, great pass.
Duque inside.
Duquesne's second bucket, and they've both been off the high-low. Great entry pass that time from Adams. Nice catch and easy finish for Duque.
You got posts who can pass like that? Yeah. My goodness. 2.5 until halftime. Whitley, the long arms of the 6'1", Whitley Larry, converts off glass.
New Orleans in the half court has looked really sharp.
No
and it's
doubt.
been backside, away from the ball screens that have opened up backdoor cuts and layups up off the glass.
Boy, Duque gathers it again, and that is a travel.
Tough catch, didn't catch it clean there on the right block. Faced up well, but then changed pivot foots before she put that ball on the floor and she got caught.
Kyla Malone, the senior out of Oxford, Mississippi, number 34, into the game for the Privateers. And she went home to Oxford, Mississippi when the Privateers went and beat Ole Miss earlier this year, back on November 15th.
ACU back to that man-to-man. Although New Orleans has had success in the driving lanes getting to the paint, ACU stays with the man-to-man look.
That's an offensive rebound. That's Malone, the putback. Checks into the game and gets a no board and the couple of points.
Well, waste no time, Kyla Malone. Get your name in the newspaper tomorrow. It's a big momentum minute and a half here to
Agreed.
end the half. Can ACU get it to double digits? Can New Orleans get back to maybe 7 or even 5? It's a big quality minute 15 now.
Boy, that's 2 blocks for New Orleans on Maddie Miller right there.
And New Orleans is staying in this despite, the 14 turnovers in the first half and most of their points have been in the paint. They're 1-2 possessions from being right in this thing at halftime.
10 to shoot. Larry gonna drive. Now Franklin, the step back fall away, and boy, that was an interesting shot, and she taps her shirt and says, "My bad."
Well, that's quality defense on Brianna Wright because Franklin's had so much success dribble driving, penetrating all the way to the glass. Wright cut off the baseline. Franklin had to try to improvise with a little fadeaway jump shot and hit the side of the backboard and goes head of bounds.
And throwing the towel in the air was Keyshawn Davenport. Not happy with that call or the Gatorade towel.
And I believe that's bonus time now for the Wildcats.
Right.
Here in the last 40 seconds.
And Coach Davenport's argument was that Brianna Wright pushed off with an arm bar, and instead it's 2 free throws for the senior out of Gerald, Texas.
Well, this is the one you want at the free throw line.
No doubt.
88%.
For not just the season, for her career.
Right.
What?
And I held my breath just for a second as I said that.
You were trying to jinx
free
her.
throw jinx, but she comes through, and she's now in double figures with 10 points.
I tell people all the time that jinx isn't real.
It is.
It is. It just is.
I have too much evidence, Zach. That's legit.
Ooh, Duncantel, excuse me. Tried to attack the paint. We've seen that a lot. Dribble penetration from the guards, and Duncantel goes to the line. And is that just the first foul of the quarter?
I believe so.
Napoli
yes.
Christian.
Yeah, foul trouble's not a problem tonight. Duque, that was her second, but that's been about it.
Duncantel out of Natchitoches, Louisiana, the home of Northwestern State University, who both of these teams will see, no doubt, a Southland Conference school who suffered a loss tonight to Sam Houston State, I believe. Miller, this is Duque, and boy, post defense has been spectacular, and now a jump ball, and that should turn the possession or the clock or the shot clock off, I believe, unless there was no change of possession. If there was no change of possession, it stays at 19, and that's what they're ruling.
Well, really, ACU can hold for the final if they want. About a
Right.
second and a half difference. Game clock to shot clock.
The lead is 9 for Abilene Christian. Brianna Wright from deep. No good, 5 seconds. Franklin, she lost it. 1 second, Miller, did she get it off? It's no good. And that's how the first half comes to a close. 35-26, Abilene Christian. Halftime coming up. It's halftime in Abilene, Texas, and it's a 35-26 lead for the hometown Wildcats in this Southland Conference opener. And ACU had to lead in double figures, and then the Wildcats go one of their last 8 and 0 of their last 5 from the floor. New Orleans hanging in this thing. Credit to these Privateers as they hang in, down just 9. It could have been a lot worse in that first half, but we'll break it all down. We've got halftime analysis coming up, a feature as well. Stick with us, a big halftime here on ESPN. Halftime in Moody Coliseum in Abilene, and a 9-point lead for Abilene Christian against New Orleans. A good first half of basketball as we welcome you courtside. Zach Carlisle and Andy Penny, glad to have you with us. Well, New Orleans, I give them a lot of credit. They're hanging in this thing. It's 9 points. It could have been a lot more in that first half.
Yeah, no doubt, as ACU built a double-digit lead there at the end of the first quarter, but New Orleans stays in this thing, and I think it's what we expected. It's the opener for the Southland Conference. It's a grind it out. It's a 20-game schedule. Yeah, it's a marathon, but you can't win the conference championship, or it makes it a little bit more difficult to win the conference championship if you fall behind in the first game. So these teams are grinding it out. The field goal percentages, not the greatest in the world, as you can see. New Orleans has yet to make a three-point shot, and the turnovers, both teams in the double digits. That'll be a point of conversation in both locker rooms here at halftime. But at the end of 20 minutes, hey, it's still, it's still either team's ball game. Granted, ACU a 9-point lead, but it's been a good first half as far as, hey, we're going to fill this thing out. We're going to play hard and give ourselves a chance to win.
Yeah, both teams with 14 points in the second quarter. It was a dead even second quarter. So, again, New Orleans hanging around. And that's really what you have to do on the road, is just give yourself a chance late in the game. Abilene Christian, they go 6 more three-pointers in the second half. That's a tough team to beat.
And that's really the difference here as you look. ACU with 1 more field goal, but 6 of those field goals are three-point shots. So there's 6 of the 9-point spread. The free throws are pretty balanced for both teams, as ACU was 5 of 7, New Orleans 4 of 4. So there's 1 point in the 9-point spread, but pretty even in that regard. But again, either team, if they can make a little run and get hot, they'll have a chance to win. It was ACU at the end of the first quarter that built the lead. They held on to it there in quarter number 2.
Brianna Wright with 11 points, 6 points from both Whitley Larry and Rahima Franklin leading the way for New Orleans in the first half. For Abilene Christian, Maddie Miller with 4 points, but she does so many other things as well: assists, rebounds, diving on the floor. And our friends of the ACU TV student run crew had a chance to sit down with Maddie Miller, the sophomore out of Wiley, and talking about what she does here with ACU.
For most college athletes, sports was something really a part of their lives just growing up. How much of an impact did college sports, or should I say sports, have growing up to put you where you are now?
Basketball had probably one of the biggest influences on my life growing up. I kind of ended up playing basketball at YMCA, and then I kind of just fell in love with it, and it became pretty much my motivation for everything.
And families tend to have a huge impact on sports growing up in your life. How much of an impact did your family have on you?
My family was one of the biggest reasons I was able to be as successful as I was. They just were everything. My dad and me would always go to the gym and shoot. He calls himself the shot doctor because he swears he made my shot, and now I shoot pretty decent, so I guess I can give him some props there. But they were there with me every step of the way.
When it came to deciding a college, why pick ACU? Why decide to become a Wildcat?
I visited a lot of schools. Didn't have like a ton of offers, but I did visit a lot of schools and I saw a lot of programs. And ACU just had a different feel when I came. Like, I just knew there was something here that was bigger than me. And the program, the family atmosphere, the culture that was here, I think the culture was the biggest thing for me, the biggest selling point. Like, I just wanted to come be a part of something that was bigger than myself and somewhere I could grow as a person and as a basketball player.
For the first time ever, Abilene Christian is the Southland Tournament champions.
And you really came to ACU really at the best time in program history, winning a Southland Conference Tournament championship, playing Baylor in the first round of the tournament. What was it like to contribute to a championship team in your first year?
It was the coolest thing ever. And just coming in, and we just were rolling with games at the beginning, and then we got to conference, and we were just winning games. Then we got to the tournament, and it was just boom, boom, boom. And the feeling when that confetti started falling was just something I couldn't even explain. It was a dream, honestly.
And we mentioned contributing to the team. This season, you're even having a bigger impact on the squad. Last season, you failed to score double-digit in points in any game, but 1 month in, you've already done it 3 times, including 20 points against Wright State. Tell me, what has led to your success from year 1 to year 2?
I played behind 3 all-conference guards last year, and just watching them and the poise that they had and the confidence that they had really just showed me that coming into this year, like, I can play like that, and I know that I'm going to be able to go out there and make the shots that I need to make and make the plays that I need to make. And this year, I've really worked on finishing both my right hand and my left hand and just getting into the paint. With Sarah graduating, we lost somebody that got into the paint pretty much every single possession, and so I wanted to put an emphasis on getting to the basket more and getting my teammates open if players help off a ball side. And like, I know when it's time for me to take the shot, I can take the shot. When it's time for me to pass the ball, I can pass the ball. It's just the confidence of just being on the court. It just feels so much more natural.
What's it going to take for the Wildcats to go back-to-back? What's it going to take for your team to get back where it needs to be?
We have all the pieces and we have the culture. I think it's just about staying in our lane and controlling the controllables, and everybody staying in the gym and just not being okay with average. I think that's one of the biggest things that sets us apart.
We get ready for the second half here in Abilene. Again, that 9-point lead for Abilene Christian. And you could argue maybe the Wildcats didn't have a great first half of play, and they still have a 9-point lead. Just 14 second quarter points for Abilene Christian. Matches a season low in any quarter this entire year for the Wildcats. Meanwhile, 14 points scored for New Orleans is right around their average of what they score per quarter. They're hanging in this thing. 9-point game, second half ready to go. What are you looking forward to in the second half?
Well, again, we talked about early in the first quarter, 65 kind of the number tonight, as New Orleans averages right at 65 points a game. Abilene Christian has scored 65 or more in all 8 of their games. So 65 is kind of that number to keep an eye on. And for ACU, yeah, not a great first half, but a 9-point lead is certainly better than a 9-point deficit. So a lot of room for improvement for the Wildcats, but you start the final 20 minutes with a 9-point spread.
I'll be curious to see how New Orleans adjusts when they have the ball offensively. It's been a lot of interior stuff. We mentioned they're 0 for 3 from the three-point line. That's not really their game. But to win this game, they may have to hit a couple of those.
They might have to. 18 points in the paint, and give credit to the Privateers. When I hear points in the paint, I'm thinking post play.
Right.
No, it's all been dribble, penetration, and drive. Credit to the guards, but they are going to have to hit some perimeter shots if they want to win this thing.
5 starters for both sides to open the third period. New Orleans 42% shooting, 11 of 26 in the first half, and Whitley Larry, offline to start the third, but a steal. Rahima Franklin has been so impressive and somehow missed a layup with no one around her.
Oh, that one will hurt tonight. Gets the impressive steal and just does not finish.
Duque back to McLeod, hit one in the first half. And short here, I thought New Orleans would try to push. Instead, rise and fire, count it. Rahima Franklin.
Well, that's how you forget an impressive steal and missing at the rim. You just come right back to the very next possession and you bury an 8-foot jump shot.
Duque, boy, that looked awkward. Coming from Duque, and then Franklin steals it and it goes into the Wildcat bench.
I'm impressed with Rahima Franklin.
My
5'3", shortest one on the floor. All over the floor, though.
Plays with the biggest heart.
Absolutely, no doubt. Great entry pass.
Boy, these teams have had some challenges at the hoop. And now Duque with an and one as she cleans up her own mess.
A great entry pass on the inbounds pass. Duque misses the first, but gets the second. Points off, or second chance points has been good. ACU had 12 of those in the first half, make it 13-14 as that bucket goes for Lexi. And Lexi's points, that's points number 5 and 6 for her. So quality minutes again for the senior here in Lexi Duque.
So Lexi Duque is a 2-time state champion at Brock High School in Brock, Texas. Goes to Rice and plays for the Owls. And then decides to transfer out, comes to Abilene Christian, and now is in her second year playing after having to redshirt, and that 3 goes down for New Orleans. Or was it a long 2? No, it wasn't 3. First one of the game. There's Duque on the other end.
Well, we talked about New Orleans will have to hit some perimeter shots from behind the three-point line. Franklin comes true on their first attempt here in the second half, but Duque right back-to-back buckets.
Franklin in double figures. She's got now 6 double-digit scoring games this year, and that is an offensive foul on New Orleans, and they have had a million of those, it feels like, in this game offensively.
And Kayla Malone just not quite set on the ball screen, trying to get Franklin open.
Go lightly. Looked like they were going to open up right. Instead, it's go lightly. And now a transition layup attempt. And how in the world New Orleans couldn't score there is beyond me. But Kyla Malone couldn't gather herself right at the basket.
Well, Coach Davenport's going to wake up in the middle of the night tonight. That's 2 here in the first 2 minutes of chip shot, block shots on the left block that have not fallen.
You figure it's probably a 4-point game.
Yeah, it's an 8-point spread now. It should be 4.
Malone for 3.
See if the Wildcats can go lightly rolling here. She's such a floor general and plays her role of whatever that role is, but let's see if she gets going offensively in the points category.
3 first half points. Here's Wright. Offline. Boy, they had her wide open from the Mabry pass.
ACU still in the man-to-man, although New Orleans liking the dribble penetration.
And just missing there, DeAndre Thomas. But that is quality effort from Thomas to go get her miss. And now she's going to go to the line, even though New Orleans has missed its last 4 shots. A chance to cut this thing under 8 points.
I can tell you, out of the shoots here, second half, the energy's been in the ladies in the blue uniforms. Getting to loose balls, second chance opportunities, good defense. And you just wonder, I think it's early to potentially say this, but ACU, you know, the preseason conference favorites, are they kind of feeling that pressure. I think it's a little early to say that.
Probably.
I think it's just a matter of a little bit of energy out of the locker room here to start the second half. But, you know, the longer New Orleans stays in, you know, the more intense this sucker will get coming down the stretch.
But this would be gigantic for New Orleans.
Oh, no doubt.
To come on the road against the team that just went to the NCAA tournament and won the conference championship a year ago. Mabry, she's been hot from distance. That one's offline, and now, because of where it missed, it's a clear out. And it's transitioned at a foul on Abilene Christian. And I'll give you a couple of guesses to who it is. It's Raheem Franklin. No effort lost from Franklin, the senior out of New Orleans.
Well, hustle foul there by Mabry. Make her earn it at the free throw line. Nothing wrong with that.
And now they are going to the table for, looks like, a review. So the officials telling us they're going to go see if they need to upgrade that foul from just a personal to maybe some form of a flagrant foul.
Well, I don't think so. It's just a hustle play.
I thought so.
Good job. I think she made an attempt at the basketball as she made the foul. You obviously don't want to give up an easy layup. You want to force the opposing team to make 2 free throws from the charity stripe as opposed to an easy layup. So quality hard foul in transition. As you said, breaking that play down, it was just a fortunate bounce for Franklin off the rebound. It popped out. Mabry's three-pointer from the wing popped out to the top of the key. Franklin caught it on the run, on the dribble, and you know, no defensive presence past the half-court line. Franklin out ahead, but you know, great effort there by Mabry to get back and force the foul and send Franklin to the free throw line.
To me, the way this game is playing out, advantage New Orleans. I mean, it's a lower scoring. They're trying to really pack it in on defense. It's an 8-point game, but maybe the style leaning towards the Privateers?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it comes down, again, just to more of the mindset, more the quality of play. I think ACU's going to get their shots. They're going to have to hit some shots because New Orleans, you know, they're going to hit some shots as well if ACU can hit some shots. But, again, I just think it comes down to, hey, we're the conference favorites. We're at home. It's the home opener. Oh, this is still a game. How do we respond? Because this is an ACU team that we've seen. They played quality basketball. They got quality wins all season long. You know, Tulsa's a quality win. Portland's a quality win. Wright State on the road is a quality win. They've been in these situations, but now conference play. How do we respond? We'll see.
They leave it at a common foul on Michaela Mabry, and Franklin hits the first. Averaged just about 4 points a game last year. Leads the team at 12 per contest this season. And she hits a pair of foul shots, and we haven't seen a lot of free throws. We've seen a decent number, but it hasn't been a huge factor in this game tonight. And a blocking foul here on Thomas. Swiping at McLeod.
Well, the success in the second half has been down on the low block. Lexi Duque has both buckets here for ACU in the quarter. Let's see if Wildcats go back to that high-low look.
McLeod's going to shoot the three instead.
And that's why I sit on this side of the table and not over there. Anna McLeod from about 22 feet out.
I see your inside play, and I raise you a Steph Curry shot.
And a second three of the night, 6 points.
It's a smooth-looking shot, isn't it?
And I'm telling you, I don't think Anna's hit her stride yet this season, just because it's her first season in a Wildcat uniform. It's coming.
Franklin used the entire rim there. And McLeod pushes off. And that is foul number 2 on Anna McLeod tonight. Coach Goodenough has told us that she thinks there hasn't really been anything McLeod has done wrong. She's just been in the wrong place at the wrong time, it feels like, for some fouls this year. Fouled out in 9 minutes against Oklahoma.
Wow.
Franklin again. And a late call, but it is a blocking foul on Brianna Wright.
You notice Franklin's just said, I'm taking over this basketball game.
That's what it feels like.
9 points in the second half, all from Franklin. She had 6 at half and 15 now in the game. Again, a 5'3" senior. She understands the importance of her last run in the Southland Conference.
A transfer from Pearl River Community College.
Yeah, but as a senior, she feels it. This is my last go-round. Let's make something happen. And high energy, now 10 points here in just over 4 minutes of play in the second half.
Talking about someone who's just improved each year she's played college basketball. Played in just one game as a freshman at Pearl River Community College. Takes a seat here. Then goes and plays in 21 games as a sophomore and averages 13 or 14 points a game. And now, in her first year in New Orleans, here's McLeod looking for another three, and that is offline, and a foul on Abilene Christian, who was called for just one team foul in the second quarter. And it is bonus the rest of the way for both sides here in the third. Maddie Miller checks in for McLeod.
Okay, we talked about in the first half, Zach, how ACU has made more free throws than their 8 opponents have attempted through the first 8 games. But now 5:43 left in this third quarter, and New Orleans already in the bonus. That stat could certainly flip here in quarter number 3 and give the Privateers another chance to get back in this thing.
They got this New Orleans team that's been really good at getting to the free throw line this year. Just 10 less attempts than Abilene Christian, but they're only shooting 60% as a team this season from the charity stripe. However, tonight, 10 of 12. And don't look now, it's a 3-point game.
And already 6 of 8 here in this third quarter from the free throw line.
Duque mishandles and turns it over. Boy, this New Orleans defense has come to play. Duncantel. And now can New Orleans figure this side of the ball out? Here in this third, we're halfway home in the period. And Duncantel no good.
See if the Wildcats can get a quality possession.
Miller was way deep. Now go lightly. Well, that's a quality look.
And I'm going to give credit to Maddie Miller. She had a look at a 3 at the left wing, but ACU just a little out of sorts. She said, no, you know what? I'm going to face up. I'm going to dribble drive. I'm going to find my senior in the corner and let her make the 3. I think that's a great pass up of a 3-point shot by Miller. Get Golightly involved, and Dom comes through with the 3-point shot.
I think that's the difference between a sophomore and a freshman.
Absolutely.
There. Miller a year ago may not have done that. But we're going to take a timeout in a 6-point game. Good one in Abilene.
ACU TV provides a place for people to come to learn and to grow and to also be a big part of what's going on at ACU.
To work at ACU TV is probably the best experience you will get in a college setting.
Being able to do it for football games like out here is like, for game days experience, it was awesome. Being able to see your shots and then being able to look back at it and saying like, wow, that was my shot, it was awesome.
It looks amazing in here, and I know Neil Santana spent so much time redesigning it, and he did an amazing job and really truly made it look like a news station would.
Getting to work with Grant, talking with the coaches regularly, this has just really given me a lot of experience moving into the real world.
The work on the floor, getting to teach people, and then also getting to be right there with the basketball players. I couldn't compare it to anything I had done before.
Watching all the clubs at Sing Song get their awards and just being so excited was such a rewarding thing to see because we were able to help contribute to that. It was just an incredible experience overall.
To see my work broadcasted nationally is so incredible.
And the pressure of filming on a live broadcast for people to see around the world is just, it's a different feeling than just a regular game filming for the screen.
It's just perfect experience for the real world. You're going to be in a control room. Somebody's going to be giving commands, telling you to switch over to this camera or to put this graphic up there. You know, you got to realize this, I wouldn't be doing this anywhere else. I think ACU provides me this blessing of an opportunity.
The ability for ACU TV to be so flexible and cover literally every section of campus is amazing.
We're here for the campus. We're here to better the community and show that ACU has a lot of great things going on.
It helps us become more of a community and cultivates support for our athletes, for our students who are succeeding and doing TEDx and sing song. And it's one of the biggest benefits I see as a student is just that ACU TV really does an incredible job bringing us all together as a campus.
Well, we are 7 days away from the big holiday. I can't believe how fast 2019 has just flown by. But hey, a week before Christmas, this is an awesome way to get the conference season started here in the middle of December. New Orleans and ACU, this is a quality basketball game, a 6-point game with Abilene Christian in front. New Orleans has been in this thing the whole way. And first free throw is on the way from Malone and good.
You've had quite the 2019 run with this ACU athletic program, huh?
I was incredibly fortunate to be around this program a year ago this last year when both basketball teams go all the way to the NCAA tournament. That's as good as it gets for Wildcat fans, I think. A lot of dislike in the crowd right now, and the officials get together again, and again they change the call. And this one, again, favors ACU. This happened in the first half as well, where they say New Orleans ball, and now they'll give it to the Wildcats.
Well, no argument from Coach Davenport right in front of the New Orleans bench,
right.
So good call there. New Orleans applies a little full court pressure, try to eat some shot clock.
To me, it's a really good job by the officials to make sure they get it right and to talk about it.
Dom made a three in the last possession. Let's see if they try to get her another look here offensively.
Alyssa Adams blocked, but a foul first. Whitley Larry inside. Thought she had a block. It looked like a really clean block, but they're saying it's a lower body foul.
Yeah, a little bit of body contact there. We saw the same play as Adams went right to left in the first half, got blocked out of bounds. This time she's able to go left to right. The more dominant hand there for Alyssa, able to draw the foul, get to the free throw line.
Scored 2 points in the first half and adds to that total. Adams averaging 6 points a game. It's interesting to see the minutes dispersed amongst all these Wildcats.
Right.
They played 4 non-Division I games, so the minutes have been really spread out. We'll see if conference play gives you that same confidence in all of your bench, but Alyssa Adams, so good, the junior out of San Antonio.
I think you'll see a little bit more top-heavy as conference play gets underway. You'll see the top 7 or 8 play more minutes, but the good thing is through those first 8 games, as Coach Goodenough was able to distribute minutes, keep some minutes off the legs of those players that you'll see play more minutes as Southland Conference play continues. But, I think you've got a deep bench primed and ready, 11 deep here for ACU.
When you've got 5 seniors, it's okay to give them a break. So in those non-conference games, they've been playing for 4 years. Brianna Wright, Dominique Galila, they've been playing since they got here.
That's a nice problem to have.
Oh, no question.
Who am I going to start tonight? Let's see. Let's pull out the old play card.
There's Adams from Miller.
Beautiful backdoor cut there. Nice entry pass. When you talk about seniors, you're seeing some of the future right there.
How do you keep Maddie Miller off the floor? It's incredible how well she's playing for head coach Julie Goodenough. Duncan Tell keeping that dribble, and there's Miller again.
Great outlet pass.
And Brianna Wright is fouled. Pimpton tried to just slap it away, and instead the conference's best free throw shooter goes to the line.
Boy, some nights when the rhythm things don't go well for you, you got to create some energy, create some opportunities, and that's Maddie Miller, a hand in the passing lane. Great outlet pass up the floor. You find your 88% free throw shooter who'll get a chance to shoot too.
Good on the first. Well, here you go. So where does Brianna Wright rank in the Southland Conference? Okay, first in assists, first in free throw percentage, second in assist to turnover, second in points per game, second in steals, second in three-point field goal percentage. It's like a laundry or a grocery list. I mean, my goodness. Such an impressive player.
And just when New Orleans gets back within 4, ACU a little 6-0 run to push it back to double digits.
They do it quickly, don't they?
They do. They did the same thing to end the first quarter. A 10-10 tie turned into 21-12 in a hurry.
Duncan tells skip pass, and now Pimpton. Did it get tipped? No, it did not. It is a backcourt violation on New Orleans. And now the final 2:45 of this third quarter could loom large. Wright leads ACU with 11. Check it, 14. It's a triple.
How quality is that?
Wow.
Little step back three with the left hand.
Timeout, New Orleans.
And just like that, back to the largest lead of the night, 53-40.
Well, the deficit for New Orleans up to 13. It's a big run for ACU. They're starting to pull away from the Privateers.
Well, just when New Orleans made that run to start the second half, gets back within 3 points, Zach. An 11-1 run now for the Wildcats, their largest lead of the night here at 13.
Yeah, this game was 42-39. And then you blinked, and now away we go. Dribble, drive, Kyla Malone.
Now the question becomes, can New Orleans do it one more time? ACU jumped out to a 5-0 lead. New Orleans tied it early. ACU built a double-digit lead there in the second quarter. New Orleans got back within 3. ACU stretches it out. Can New Orleans make one more run here in the final 12 minutes tonight?
Miller dribble drive.
5 on the shot clock.
Where do you go? You go to the sophomore who's going to go to the free throw line. Her confidence just seems to be ridiculously high right now.
I agree. You see Brianna Wright's 3 from just before that timeout, 14 points now. But yeah, I agree with you with Maddie Miller. When they played earlier in this season, the first time I really had a chance to see her was at that game at Wright State in Dayton, Ohio. She scores 20 on that night. A lot of that was from behind the three-point line. But really, since then, I think that might have been a game that kind of flipped the switch of, hey, I can play on this level, no doubt. And boy, tonight it's been a lot of penetration with the dribble. But quality minutes tonight from the sophomore.
Miller did not have a double-digit performance a year ago, and she's got 4 of them this year.
Yeah.
It's as good as it gets. Another defensive foul in New Orleans. That was a big offensive rebound off the miss from Lexi Duque. Anna McLeod checks back in for Dominique Golightly. So now Duque to the foul line. Abilene Christian 2 of 5 this half, or this quarter, I should say, from the charity stripe.
Well, Wright, the only one in double figures here, Zach, but the distribution of points looks good on the stat sheet. 7 Wildcats in the scoring column, and all 7 with 4+ points tonight. So distribution of points spread out very well tonight.
We've seen 11 Privateers, but 17 of their 42 have come from one player.
And the majority of those from Franklin here in the second half.
Here she is again, Raina Franklin. And Alyssa Adams denies her inside.
Great help side defense there. Coming over from the backside block, the help defense, able to get the rejection.
Miller way deep. But Adams tracks it down.
Shot clock did not reset. That ball did not hit the rim.
McLeod. And that's thrown out of bounds from Annalise Briscoe. So it stays with Abilene Christian, and that basically turns into an offensive rebound, excuse me. So there's just 20 on the shot clock. Duque.
18 offensive rebounds for ACU tonight, leading to 16 second chance points.
10 to shoot. Adams, reverse, and she's shooting 2. Talking to head coach Julie Goodenough, and she is not upset at all when Adams tries those reverses, because more often than not, they work, and now Adams to the free throw line.
ACU getting to the free throw line. We saw New Orleans in the bonus, 3 minutes into this quarter?
Right.
4 minutes into this quarter, but now it's ACU getting to the charity stripe. They've now attempted more than New Orleans, 15 to 14, but just 9 of 15 at the line for ACU.
Yeah, this is a team that's a 73% shooting team on the year from the free throw line. That's a great number as a team. And tonight, 10 of 16, as you mentioned. But they just keep getting points, and all of a sudden the lead 14 as we approach the end of the third.
New Orleans, their last offensive possession here of the quarter. ACU is going to show a 2-3 zone.
And is that an and one? Yes,
wow.
It is. Franklin continues to shine, and she's a point away from a 20-point night. Wow. There's a double team on her, didn't matter.
Yeah, against a 2-3 zone where the help defense is there. 13 in the quarter, 19 for the game.
Her 5th attempt from the line. Her 5th make, and a 20-point game through 3 quarters for Rahima Franklin. Well, we talked about her in the open, and she has delivered. 5 seconds, and now she fouls defensively, and her head coach, Keyshawn Davenport, is not happy with that call.
Yeah, well, I don't know if she's upset with the call or with the defense there.
Right.
5 seconds left in the quarter. Wright still 40 feet from the basket. As you said, the Southland Conference leader in free throw percentage, ACU in the bonus. Defensively, I'd try to play the quarter out without the foul. It was a hustle play by Franklin. You can't falter for the hustle, but you're sending Brianna Wright to the free throw line for 2 looks here with 4.5 seconds left.
Treya Bruce comes in for maybe one last heave. Well, Wright misses the first. That's a rarity. Just her 4th miss of the season. And it's something only like 30 misses or 35 misses in a career.
Wow.
Something.
That's just a
like
Sunday
that.
afternoon in my driveway.
That's right. That ball's tapped out of bounds, and that is going to go to Abilene Christian. So with 2 seconds, they can turn a 12-point lead into something more before the end of the period. Can they convert here? McLeod. Wow, a crazy end to the third. Fourth quarter on the way. And ESPN College basketball back after this. Fourth quarter coming up in a 12-point game, but here is what New Orleans has next. They're going back home for a couple of games before we flip to 2020. Sam Houston State, that's not an easy one Saturday at Lamar, and SFA coming to town as well. Such a tough Southland Conference. Zach Carlisle alongside Andy Penny. Glad to have you with us tonight for ESPN College basketball. And it's been a low-scoring, kind of ugly, kind of choppy game, but there's Maddie Miller, who could be the MVP of this game tonight. I don't know, but she's got an and one here to start quarter number 4.
Well, the intangibles tonight have come from that sophomore Maddie Miller. The spark plug, the energy, getting on the floor, and when you need a basket in momentum to keep it on your side, look at that. Drive to the bucket, little fist pump there. She goes to the free throw line for the sophomore.
That's how we celebrate at the end of a broadcast. We did it.
Hey, and I want to give credit to ACU as New Orleans made their push. We were talking about, are they feeling tight? Are the Wildcats feeling tight here as conference play opens up? They're the preseason favorite. Are they getting a little tight? No, they're not getting tight. They respond. That's a quality depth team with a lot of experience. They just need to hit some shots, and they did. Now they're playing quality defense, too.
Inside, that might be a travel. Yes, it is. It's a turnover on Asia Woods, who is now the only Woods playing for New Orleans. Her sister, Shania, just graduated a year ago from UNO and played the last 4 seasons for the Privateers. Now Asia, the senior this year out of Houston. Yeah, 15-point game now. And if ACU converts a couple more, well, here we go. That's a turnover and a layup, and Rahima Franklin's keeping New Orleans afloat in this game tonight.
There's 22 on the night. 14 came in the third quarter. First 2 here in this fourth quarter.
You saw the turnover numbers. It's up to 36 combined for the night. New Orleans with the edge and the points in the paint. And Miller missing, but the foul is not on her shot. It looked like it was on the rebound attempt, or was it a late foul call?
I think it was a late whistle on the drive.
They are going to put Miller at the line.
And Maddie came up a little slow. I don't know if she hit the padding behind the goal or landed awkwardly, but came up a little slow, but she's at the line. She's inching in double figures at point number 8. Of course, Brianna Wright was 17 and Lexi Duque in double figures with 10. Maddie trying to be the third one there, point number 9.
Started twice a year ago, has not started this year, but is no question the 6th man of this team for Abilene Christian. And she's one of the top 6 men in the Southland Conference. Such a talented, deep group. And Duncantel draws a foul on the baseline, and maybe on Mabry. It's on Michaela Mabry of Abilene Christian. She's had a very quiet second half, had a much bigger impact in the first half of this game.
Zach, ACU's running a 2-3 zone here in this fourth quarter. You can do that when you got the 15-point spread. You want your help defense to be in better position as New Orleans tries to drive to the bucket, and you want to force them to shoot from the outside.
Right, that's something, and that is... Miller lost the ball.
Yeah, got stuck on her hip. Double dribble.
She may have double dribbled that.
But again, here you're seeing ACU play a 2-3 zone. They're going to force New Orleans to shoot from the outside. The Privateers with just 1 3-point make tonight. They've only shot 5.
Right.
Their game is dribble penetration and get to the rim. Going to be much more difficult against a 2-3 type zone.
Talking about a team that's attempted almost 140 three-pointers coming in.
Just 1 of 5
New Orleans. So the 5 is the staggering number to meet tonight. Franklin no good. Put back and 1 for the 6'5" Kayla Thomas, the redshirt senior out of Philly.
Well, Wildcats forced the shot that they won, a wild contested layup over the outstretched hands of Duque. The breakdown there is no positioning and blockouts, and a good job by Thomas to get in, get the offensive rebound and the putback.
Offline on the free throw. The 13-point game, but you said it, this Privateer team's going to have to make another run, and Duque answers the bell on the other end for Abilene Christian.
Another great entry pass, another great position there by Duque. She's made it look easy on the right block. When she gets good position, she's able to get good position and a good entry pass. That's easy living.
High post. They'll get it, and now losing it is Larry, and here come the Wildcats. Oh, what a find down the court from the quarterback of this offense, Brianna Wright. Adams for 2.
Well, 65 was our number tonight, Zach, and ACU just went over that with 66. And now their largest lead at 17. 4th assist of the night for Brianna Wright.
This will be Lexi Kurgan checking in for ACU. How about this pass?
What great look. Catch the defense sleeping a little bit. Got their eyes turned to the point guard. Brianna Wright looking up the floor. Alyssa Adams runs the floor well, gets behind the defense. Nice, easy, 2.
Well, when you have a 6'5" Kayla Thomas, you bring in the 6'4" Lexi Kurgan for Abilene Christian. Why not? Kurgan, the senior out of Bullard, Texas.
Yeah, more depth, as you see. 6'5" and a senior. And Kurgan, and seeing her first minutes here in the fourth quarter.
The lead is 17 for Abilene Christian. Lexi to Lexi. That was Kurgan to Duque, and the ball tapped out of bounds.
And again, you're seeing more probably defensively here, both Kurgan and Duque on the floor with a zone presence. Going to be very difficult to get to the rim for New Orleans.
That dribble drive might not exist anymore. 5 to shoot. Duque 2 seconds. Miller's going to have to launch one, and that possession did not end the way Abilene Christian would have wanted it. Good defense by the Privateers.
If there's been a downside tonight, it's turnovers. That's number 18 for ACU. And again, look at the length here in this zone. Got Kurgan down on the paint. Duque on the backside block. A nice entry pass up over the top of it.
Pass.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Thomas couldn't finish.
Well, still contested on the backside, even though you get the nice entry pass, still contested on the backside.
McLeod to Miller. Who's it off of? It's off of Lexi Kurgan. New Orleans basketball. You're talking about Abilene Christian, you said it. This is a team that's turned it over 18 times, and they still lead by 17 points. I think we talk about this New Orleans defense and keeping them in it. Abilene Christian's given up just 49 tonight in this game. Bree Wright, nothing. Loose ball. Franklin,
wow,
transition.
She is salty. I'll
so
tell you what.
Fun to watch. Wright bumped. Thomas got the forearm.
Look at the speed. Oh, nice little Euro step up underneath.
Man.
The speed is phenomenal. That's what gets me.
You can't defend that.
Yeah, baseline to baseline in a hurry. And now with 24.
That's half the points. I mean,
yep.
24 of the 51 for New Orleans tonight, and McLeod could not convert. It will stay with Abilene Christian.
And 18 of the 25 in the second half.
Oh my goodness. Kurgan, that's a great catch, and it is
I think that's an
offensive foul on Kurgan of Abilene Christian.
Well, I tell you what's funny is it was a late whistle, and Kurgan got caught. I think Kyla Malone took either a fist or an elbow or got hit right in the mouth, and the late whistle due to the reaction, and Kurgan got the offensive foul.
I think they're going to check.
Yeah, they're going to check this.
Here. There's Coach Goodenough. Not happy with that call.
Well, it was kind of a reactionary whistle. That was what was
very
curious.
late, right?
Well, it's after Malone kind of grabbed her mouth as she got hit in the face that the whistle came.
So it was before her catching the ball one-handed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you saw her arm extend out. It was a very interesting play, and we're going to take a look.
Let's see if we can get a look at it here. Again, just a lob entry pass. And yeah, just kind of an elbow comes across. It looks like hard to see. I don't think there's any intentionality on it at all.
Agreed. I don't.
You know, inadvertent. But they'll check it.
That was a quick review from the officials.
And Malone getting checked out on the far side. She might have a cut lip.
Let's take one more look. Oh, you did see the elbow hit there, but I didn't. We'll see what they.
Regular offensive foul.
Regular offensive. We've seen, I don't know, 1 million offensive fouls in this game tonight. So we knew it would be New Orleans basketball. The question was, would they upgrade it to anything different here? And now another stoppage. They continue to chat with the scorer's table.
ACU shooting tonight 37.5%, 21 of 56, 9 of 27 from behind the three-point line. A little below their average of 40%, but right at makes per game, just over 10, about 10.5 a game. So the statistics offensively look similar. 15 of 23 at the free throw line. Percentage a little down, but 23 free throw attempts. That's a good night getting to the line.
Here is Thomas, and that's a nice find as well to Asia Woods, who converts. New Orleans isn't quite done, but again, they're going to have to get a bunch of defensive stops and string them together. And the problem is they keep fouling ACU. And it's going to be free throws when we come back. 4:51 to go in Abilene. Well, here's the Abilene Christian upcoming schedule. They're going to Nichols Saturday, New Mexico State. Lamar comes to town to get going in 2020. Take a look at that here in a moment as Abilene Christian leads by 13. Miller, how did she get that to go?
Great body control there, drives with the left hand. I thought she was going to use the left side of the glass, but right at the last second leans in to the right to use her body as a defender to keep the defender off of her. Uses the right side of the glass and gets the soft touch and the roll off the rim.
Franklin.
That bucket puts Miller into double figures. She's the third Wildcat now. Wright with 17, Duque with 12, Maddie Miller with 11.
Again, there's the schedule with New Mexico State to close out December. Lamar, ESPN3 telecast on January the 4th.
It's going to be a heck of a Southland Conference run, isn't it?
Oh, man. Well, it's interesting because it's a new 20-game schedule this year as opposed to the 18-game league slate. So it starts in the 2019 portion of the schedule. I mean, you're telling me I get to watch 2 more games with Southland Conference teams going at it. I'll take it.
Absolutely, no doubt. And that lady right there, Coach Julie Goodenough, will have this team ready to make a run. Of course, postseason conference tournament championship, well documented from a year ago, the preseason favorite here in 1920. But she's not going to let this team just read the headlines. They'll be well prepared, ready to go.
Inside. Boy, that was an excellent pass as Asia Woods finishes, but it was Malone who got it to her. New Orleans has been teetering with his 13-point deficit here. They haven't been able to get it closer over the last probably 8 minutes or so, and another foul on New Orleans defensively.
Well, reset point of the game here. Take care of the basketball. Run some shot clock if you can. Make some free throws. You get out of here with the W.
As ACU goes for its 6th straight win over New Orleans. This has been a physical battle tonight, and McLeod no good on the first free throw. And now ACU's a point away from 70 tonight. We weren't sure if a team was going to get the 70 points the way this thing was playing out.
Well, credit New Orleans, as ACU still 20 below their scoring average of 89. But credit to ACU as well for the defense they've played.
24 turnovers now for New Orleans in the game. And that's another offensive foul, and that's turnover number 21 on Abilene Christian. An illegal screen from Brianna Wright. That one was close.
Yeah, that was tough. I guess she wasn't quite set. Just a screen coming around the perimeter left side.
You hand it off to your teammate, and then you try to set the screen. Franklin, an unstoppable force tonight.
I tell you, even at 5'3", with her body control, I don't even know if she saw the glass in the rim right there, but she's just made that shot so many times. She knew exactly what she needed to do.
Wright couldn't hit, but Adams gets another rebound and go lightly. Hits what might be the dagger tonight for Abilene Christian. Wow.
But just a silent assassin. You know, Dom, she's been doing it all year. 9 points now. But just, you know, when you need a big shot, let's find another senior to make one. First, Adams runs down the loose ball. Dom wide open in the corner. We saw her hit one from the right corner earlier. That time from the left corner, and quietly a 15-point lead. 9 points for the senior.
10th triple of this game for Abilene Christian. There you go, second chance points, 23-12 for the Wildcats.
Yep.
And again, they've withstanded a new career high, 24 from Rahima Franklin. It's been, for ACU, it feels like if Franklin gets hers tonight,
right,
it's not going to matter.
Right. Nobody else has done much when you look at the scoring column. Woods does have 8, and also Larry has 8. But without Franklin and her effectiveness in 24 tonight, this spread of 15 is a whole lot larger than what it is right now.
And now drawing a foul is Kyla Malone, a defensive penalty on ACU here. And is it Miller or Adams? And it is Adams.
Give a shout out to Lexi Duque, a double-double tonight. 12 points, 10 rebounds. I'm trying to think, that might be her first one of the year, and it is.
And it is ACU's first.
Is that right?
Double-double
There you go.
Of the season.
12 points, 10 rebounds for the senior. She's had to earn it tonight, too.
Does it feel like a quiet 12 and 10?
It does. It does. I tell you.
Malone, another Pearl City Community College transfer, her and Rahima Franklin, this UNO squad. And Mary Delgado, the freshman out of Miami, checks in, number 25. And a steal from Franklin. And then Adams gets the takeaway just when you think New Orleans could maybe try to capture some lightning in a bottle. That bottle gets broken.
All right. Here's a chance to take some air out of the basketball. Run some shot clock, limit possessions here. 13-point lead.
Right.
Great
the
pass.
Feed to Adams.
Cool, calm, collect. Your senior point guard. Beautiful dish to Adams.
Brianna Wright is Abilene Christian's Division I all-time leader in assists.
That's number 5 tonight. It puts Adams in double figures.
Adams again, this time from Maddie Miller. And 100 seconds to go in this 15-point game. And the Wildcats are putting their finishing touches on this one tonight. tough floater from Thomas. New Orleans, a valiant effort. And that ball out of bounds to the Privateers.
Yeah. Matty Miller trying to say it went off the foot of the Privateer defender, which could be our third overturn of a call.
They're going to go look at it.
Take a look at it. But yeah, this is a quality win. This is the only time these two teams played this year, New Orleans and Abilene Christian. Kind of an unbalanced schedule, although they added the 2 games, the 20-game conference schedule. Still not balanced all the way through. Probably more because of geography than anything, the distance between these two teams. But the only time these two teams will play this year, unless they see each other in the conference tournament. But you know, good solid win here for ACU. I don't think this has been their best performance of the year by far, but at the end of the day, the tally mark's going to go on the win column side of the record. And something to build on here, 1 game down.
Yeah, you mentioned the unbalanced schedule. There's going to be 4 teams that you only play once, and these are the 2 that meet just once this year. And of course, there will be other games throughout the course of the season that you only see once. When there's 13 teams, you can't, 24 conference games is a lot.
Right.
And so they tried to avoid that number. Mabry, and how in the world did ACU save that and keep possession? 60 ticks to go tonight. Just 3 on the shot clock. Golightly's going to launch one up there. That's a shot clock violation. But yeah, you mentioned it. Aside from the turnovers, imagine Coach Julie Goodenough would be pretty happy with her performance. And you figure head coach Keyshawn Davenport, this team is going to be hanging in. They're going to beat some teams.
Absolutely.
This New Orleans team, they're going to beat some teams in the league.
Well, I think there's constructive criticism on both sides, but something to build on both sides as well. ACU didn't shoot it as well as they have all season long, but their defense was there good enough to get the 15-point spread.
Foul inside again.
And for New Orleans, you know who your go-to player is. There's no doubt about that. You build your offense around her, let Rahima Franklin do her thing. And the big thing for New Orleans, I think, now is you've got to have the other pieces to contribute along with Franklin, who looks like she's going to get her points all season long. Somebody else is going to have to step up and do it.
Yeah, that'll be, I think, the question for this team is which player or players will help her in some of these games offensively to maybe not have to be a 30-point night every time.
Well, Asia Woods had 23 in that win against Ole Miss, so she's capable of doing it. There's some others on this roster we saw a lot of potential out of tonight. Yeah, New Orleans will be around. They'll be a competitive basketball team here in the South.
This defense is going to keep them in some games, I have a feeling, for the Privateers. No shot clock now. And so Abilene Christian's on their way to 8-1 and 1-0 to start league play. New Orleans dropping to 3-6 now and 0-1 in the league. New Orleans goes back home Saturday. Abilene Christian on the road. But a good win for Abilene Christian tonight, a 14-point winner for ACU. And a final 76-62. For Andy Penny and our entire crew, the gang headed by Hutton Harris, Zach Carlisle saying so long from Abilene, Texas. Once again, a final score, 76-62 ACU. It's been a presentation of college basketball on ESPN. All games airing on the ESPN network, streaming live or archived. The ESPN app. Happy holidays, everybody.